Welcome back to the Sleepy Keys Craft Corner. Today on the program, we are going to be crafting a Valentine's cornucopia. You see, a cornucopia isn't just for Thanksgiving. You can decorate it for any season. And today, what we'll need to make our Valentine's cornucopia is a pair of scissors. Any pair will do, but I think a decent pair of shears is important to get some clean cuts to make a card. You'll also need some flowers. They could be dried flowers, fake flowers, or as I have in this case, some real daisies. You will need a glue stick and some paper of any sort for crafting the Valentine's card. And it's always a good idea to have some decorative ribbon on hand. Now, today we are making a Valentine's cornucopia, but don't feel like you're boxed into using pinks, reds, peaches, whites, and colors like that. It could be a whole rainbow of colors that you use to make your Valentine's cornucopia. In this case, I've got some pink ribbon lying around, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and use today. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, of course, the most important part of creating a Valentine's cornucopia is having a cornucopia of some sort. Now, if you don't have one in your home, it's a good idea to have one and honestly have a variety of shapes as well to use. But if you don't have one, you could just cut a large piece of paper and then fold the piece of paper into a cone shape. Something like that would probably work. Or I guess if you had some reeds or sticks near your home, you could go around and collect those. And then you could let them sit in a bucket of warm water for, at least an hour or so. And then once they're malleable enough, you could begin to do your own basic basket weave pattern to then create this cornucopia shape. That's going to take a little bit of time, so you do want to plan ahead if you're making your cornucopia from scratch. In this case, I'm not going to be demonstrating how to do that today because I would need to go outside. I would need to find a number of reeds near the pond. And I don't know if there's, perhaps a frog that's, got some eggs or something underneath of them, and I don't want to disturb those. I don't want to disturb the habitat. So I would then have to collect other materials that are just laying around that aren't already being used by other animals in the habitat. But you never really know, because there could be a situation where you've got a pile of sticks, something going on in the yard, and then you go and you pick it up and you see a tiny salamander underneath because they're they're resting there in the wintertime, hibernating maybe, I don't know. Anyways, I just got this one from the secondhand store, so it's my cornucopia. It's the one I've got. It's a little bit larger than I'd like, because when you've got a cornucopia of this size, we are looking at I would say a 10-inch opening here. So when you've got a cornucopia of that size, it does mean that it's got a lot of volume to fill. So that is something important to keep in mind if you don't necessarily want to have a large cornucopia on your table, or one that you're gifting. In this case, I'm making a cornucopia that we will be gifting today. So, you know what, I do want it to have a lot of space because I have a lot of gifting items that I'm going to be putting in here. So again, this is roughly 10-inch size cornucopia. If you're just starting out with cornucopias, I'd maybe start with like a 6-inch. I think that's a better starting point for your creations. Now, even with a 6-inch or smaller cornucopia, you can still let your imagination run wild, and that's really what we're going to focus on today. So, now, because I have this fun shape, now I think we mentioned this before. Look, it already looks like there's a face and some earrings. Can you see that in there? But that's just because there's a number of ways that you could hang this or put decorative items on it. But we're going to be laying this on its side, sort of like that. I think we mentioned this last time for the Thanksgiving cornucopia, but you can make sort of a face on the cornucopia piece. In this case, you know, for Valentine's Day, I would maybe bring out the sunglasses again, because they're heart-shaped sunglasses. So you just kind of have to adjust them so they go through the basket weave area, and then they sit securely like that. And then that way you can have a little face, and maybe you add a little mouth. I think last time we added a wig on top as well. You don't have to do that. You don't have to make the face, but you could. And the glasses, I think, really set it off. But instead of a wig, you could also add a fun hat. Look at this. So it's sitting nice. It's sitting sort of nicely on the top there. Maybe I'd have to move this down a little bit. Maybe put the hat on this piece here, and then maybe the eyes are just these two flowers right here. Stick that there. Stick this one maybe over here, and then the nose is the bottom part, right? So you can kind of see how it's not exactly a face, but you get the idea. No, we're not going to do that today. We're going to keep this a little bit more traditional, cornucopia. But this hat is really something. Looks like a hat that E.T. the extraterrestrial would wear, dressed up for a special occasion. But yeah, you could also maybe put your cornucopia like this, and then have a hat on the top, balance it on your table like so. No, not today. We'll find another use for this, for sure. I want to use this ribbon to make a big bow around the cornucopia. And in this case, you could weave the bow through the basket if you wanted to. That's going to be a very nice, beautiful touch for the outer portion. And I think that's what I'm going to do today. You don't have to weave it through, but see how that gives it a nice polished look. You could also just tie it around the cornucopia basket itself, or just tie it to the end. It's really up to you. Again, there's no rules. There's no rules in a Valentine's cornucopia. It's just using your imagination and whatever you've got laying around. So just feed it through gently. Doesn't have to be too perfect. You're just kind of going around that last area of the basket weave. I might have to feed some through here. And then just pull it through. Put that through there. Oops, and now look what I've done. I've got such uneven uneven ribbon distribution here. So I'm going to have to pull some of this through to even that out. Sort of like your shoelaces, where you don't want to have one shoelace much longer than the other. It makes for an awkward tying of your shoes at the end. This is better. But see now I've overdone it. This one's longer than this one, but honestly not by much. So fine. I'm going to take the two of those and I'm going to tie a bow on the top. I think this needs to go through one more time. This is going to look great. Now this is looking like a Valentine's cornucopia and not so much a Thanksgiving cornucopia. There we go. There we go. Now I've got a fun bow on the top of my cornucopia, but it still needs something that says Valentine's, right? So aside from a pink bow, what would that be? Well, flowers, and of course the most important shape of Valentine's Day, the heart shape. So let's get some heart shapes. Let's get some heart shapes going on this cornucopia. I have a bag of random scraps of this sort of foamy material. Now this is kind of new. I haven't seen this material too often, but I've got a number of these scraps, so I'm going to just use these to make some hearts that I'm going to stick on the side of the cornucopia. Again, you can use all the colors of the rainbow, or you can stick to traditional pinks and reds. In this case, I'm going to do some lighter greens and pinks. Or really just whatever I can find in the bag that I think will work. Okay, well now I've got my scrap pieces, just a few, an interesting assortment of colors, honestly. And if you don't already know how to make a heart shape, what you do is fold whatever item you've got in half, and then you're just cutting half of the shape, just like that. And these don't have to be perfect. And they're not perfect. And that's fine. There's another one. I think I can make two out of this piece. Or maybe just one big one. That's what I'll do. Very nice. Maybe two out of this one. sometimes you have to go back and clean up the corners. That one's interesting. I'm going to keep it. Maybe I'll just go like this. Close enough. That's a fun one. It looks like there's a little piece of something stuck on here. There we go. There's a nice green one. And just a couple more. This one's going to be long. No, it doesn't look quite right. Sure. Okay. Now what am I going to do with all these scraps? Well, could save this later on for the card, which I might just do that. Well, now I've got some hearts. Got the bow on top. Now to jazz up the outside of this cornucopia some more, I'm just going to take the hearts and tuck them into the areas in between the basket weave here, and they're just going to stick out. And you know, they're not going to be in there permanently. I'm not going to glue them. That way this can be redecorated for another upcoming seasonal celebration day. So just going to stick them like that, but I do need to finalize how this is going to sit on the table. And I think it'll be like that. So there we go, just stick these anywhere in the book. So just like that, just stick these anywhere that you like. Isn't that fun? It's almost like a fun stegosaurus of Valentine's hearts. Wow, that's really fun. But we do need a little something else for the outside, and that's where the flowers will come in handy. Again, you can just kind of put them in the basket as well, or there. Yeah, and I think I'll do a couple more of these beautiful daisies, and then I actually have a couple of carnations over here as well. And I'm going to cut these so that they're a little bit longer on the stem. And that way they're going to stick out more and add even more height to the decorations on the outside of this cornucopia. Whoops. Wow, this is really something. Sometimes I don't even know how this is going to turn out, but I'm always pleasantly surprised. And if it doesn't turn out perfect, that doesn't matter, because I wasn't going for perfect in the first place. almost like the cornucopia itself is the bouquet, right? But again, these flowers will wilt and then die a lot faster because they're not in water, so something to keep in mind. Great. We've got our outside, we've got our hearts, we've got our bows, we've got a fanciful theme here that's not so red, pink, but a little more springtime, right? So, and the daisies smell beautiful, so I do like that as well. Next, what are we going to put in the cornucopia? This is where you need to know who you're gifting this to. And it doesn't have to be something so Valentine's-y, just as on Thanksgiving. It doesn't have to be so Thanksgiving-y in here, right? But I do want to keep it sort of fun, whimsical, but also useful. So let me pick out a couple of things for who I'm going to gift this one to. I'm thinking I want to gift this Valentine's cornucopia to my friend Nance. And, you know, she loves to read fun books, so thinking about including this Elizabeth Reynolds book in her basket here. But then I was also thinking maybe she wants to watch a movie with the family. Something about a mysterious old mansion up a hill, and then there's a young lady, but then there's a fellow in the mansion, but nobody likes him, and they're afraid of him. But then she sings well, and it is for the whole family. Maybe she won't like this one, I don't know. And then there's also a microwave cookbook. And this one's really important for Nance because she's always trying to cook things in the microwave, but I don't think she knows how to do it properly, and sometimes it splashes or gets too hot or is overdone and then dried out. But this microwave guide and cookbook should do the trick, especially when she's trying to make fruit-filled pineapple, and we'll come back to that in a second. You can make a quiche pastry, you can make yeast breads, a number of desserts. Now, I haven't tried this in the microwave yet, but it looks like it's pretty easy. Coffee cakes, different vegetables, gravies. Now, it also mentions shellfish here. I don't think it's a great idea to do in the microwave at work, but sometimes Nance does that anyways, making seafood in the microwave. Anyway, so I'll put the cookbook in here. And I was thinking with the 10-inch cornucopia opening that it would be ample space, and actually I don't have as much space as I thought. So I'm going to put that on the bottom, and I'm going to forego Rigoletto and Stolen Kisses and just save that for another occasion. What I am going to put in there is this not quite ripened pineapple, and that's because pineapple is one of Nance's favorite fruits, and I think especially during the winter season it's so nice to be able to enjoy a ripe pineapple, and then also including with the pineapple a bag of loose coconut flakes. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because you can have the pineapple once ripe, you open it up, you cut it into in pieces. With those pieces, you sprinkle on a little bit of coconut flake, and then it's like you're eating a pina colada. You know, it's the coconut pineapple mix that everyone loves. So I'll just put that in here loose. Hopefully it doesn't open up. Shove that in the side. And then, of course, I'm going to go ahead and throw in a loose date because everyone who I care about, I give little little fiber treats too, and a great way to get fibers with your dates and prunes. So a loose date, slide that in right there. Now, it has been, you know, a little bit chilly, being February, and so I thought, why not throw in an onion soup packet? Now, if Nance wants to, she can make onion soup with the soup packet, or she could get some sour cream, and then she could just mix this with the sour cream, and then she's got a French onion dip. Now, this is a very fragrant package, so it's going to mix nicely with the smell of the flowers on the outside. But I'm going to put that in there, and I'm not going to tell her what to do with it. She can choose. She can choose what she wants to do with her onion soup. And then, of course, I always have a few dum-dums laying around, and they're always butterscotch and root beer. And I don't like them. I don't know if Nance likes them, but I want to get rid of them. So I'm just going to put them here. I could also stick them out the top. That would be fun, but they do have a little bit of heft, so they run the risk of accidentally falling out during transit. So I'm just going to put them in here. Look at that. Who wouldn't want to receive this basket? Now, we've got the most important bits, which are our Valentine's thoughtful gifts for the recipient, our festive flowers and hearts arrangement on the outside. But we do need to make a card because you don't want to gift something without a card. So, last but not least, I'll show you how you can make a beautiful and thoughtful card for your cornucopia recipient. To make the card, I have just a plain piece of cardstock. You can use cardstock, construction paper, you know, whatever you've got laying around. You'll want to take that cardstock, fold it in half, and make a nice crease on the outside. And then with your scissors, you will want to cut a small rectangle shape because we are making a pop-up card. No longer are you just going to have a boring card that you open, look at, close up. No, when you open this card, something is going to pop up when you open it. All you have to do for that is create a little cut. Doesn't have to be perfect or too thick. Cut the paper, I would say about an inch, inch and a quarter on both sides. Flip it back open, and then you want to press that area opposite of how it's folded. And it looks like mine's a little bit crooked, but it's okay. And then press that down, make a crease. Bam. And then you'll see you have a little, almost like a chair shape, a little folded chair. And that's what's going to pop up the card. So, once you have that done, think about what you want to put in there. I was thinking another heart would be nice, and it goes along with my kind of light lime colors and with the whites and the pinks. So it could be a situation where you close it, open it up, bam, heart. But then what do I want on that heart? And I can't think of a better way to get inspiration for designs and ideas than referencing some other artists. Now, you should use your imagination, but sometimes you need a little bit of an imagination starter. So, in this case, I want to look through a couple of examples in my copy of Sweetheart, the Mary Inglebright. Beautiful, beautiful illustrations book. And there are lots of heart-themed items. Heart-themed pictures, great fonts, beautiful illustrations. That's fun. They're saving my Valentine, and it's got a secret Valentine. There are a few clowns. Now I know Nance doesn't care for clowns, so I'm not gonna do clowns this time. I love clowns, but you know, they're not for everyone. Queen of Hearts, see, beautiful clowns. I'm loving the little hats. It's not too clowny, is it? No. Oh, this one makes me think of Nance. See, it's a lady in class. She says, "Pick me," and Nance is very much a girl who says, "Pick me." So you know, because she wants to be chosen for the things, for the play and such. So, pick me. But I don't think I can draw nearly as good as Mary Inklebright, so I'm not gonna do that. But what I am seeing are a lot of hearts and some cherubs. Oh, I love that little beachy theme. And those fun hats. So maybe I'll just do, oh gosh, a little heart with some decorations around it in the heart I have, and it'll just be her name. I think that'll work well. So I'll take my little heart, and I'm just gonna write her name on this. There you go. So it just says Nance. But then if I had a little border, add some fun checkered shapes maybe. Put this here. Yes, that's looking fun. Kind of folksy, kind of country. Cute, very cute. Let's get another color in there. I see how the same way that Mary's got kind of almost like a checkered pattern around the heart and a border. Some beautiful flowers, so follow along that border there. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Oops. And you're going to draw on yourself a little bit too. That just happens. And then kind of adding a little bubble there, like it's, you know, like it's an actual three-dimensional bubble heart. I think that works. I think that's good. And then I'll put another heart inside the heart. There we go. And so I'll take that, and I'm going to paste it. Just applying paste to the back and paste to the inside. And then pressing firmly, I would say for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, I should say 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3 alligator, 4 alligator, whatever you want to say. At least 5 seconds. And now look at this. Are you ready? I don't think you're ready. Nance! She's gonna love it. But it is pretty plain on the outside. So what do we do about that? Well, let's get our trusty stamps out. Got the Cynthia Hart scrapbooking stamp collection. I could go get my Inka Dinka Doos, but I feel like I just have exactly what I need in here today. So what I like to do. I'm going to choose this stamp that has a little flower on it. It sticks with the, floral Valentine's Day motif. And then, of course, we've got a heart. This one's a heart with a little zigzag pattern in there. Oh, there's so many good choices. Yeah. So I'm just going to do these two. And I'm just going to say thinking of you, because that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking of Nance. And it looks like this pin has just run out. I'll just go over top of it, it's fine. And all of the eyes should be colored in hearts. I don't think I should have to say that. I think it should be obvious. And yeah, thinking of you. Again, with the stamps, it doesn't have to match perfectly. If I had a lime green ink, that would be ideal. I don't. So instead, I'm going to use, finally, a traditional Valentine's Day red, okay? And I'm going to take the heart stamp it in the red ink, stamp it thoroughly, and then get these corners decorated. Yes. Sometimes the stamp goes off the page, so just be careful with what surface you are stamping on. Wow, this looks great. So I'm going to put that one away. Then I'm going to go back in. Oh, maybe with a different color. See how I've done that, where I've gone around the border? I'm actually going to do a contrasting color, but I'll stamp this in here to get this ink off. And what better contrasting option than a beautiful teal? And that's going to match the teal that I used there. So then this is going to go here. Beautiful. So I'm going to put that back. I've stamped my fingers just a little bit, so be careful what you touch. Stack my inks back up. I always want to make sure my inks are securely closed so that they don't dry out. And there you have it. It's a beautiful card that says thinking of you, and when she opens it, bam! How fun is that? I'm going to put the card inside. Oh wait, I do want to tell her that she needs to put the loose coconut flakes on the pineapple, so I'm just going to write that in the card real quick. Put the loose coconut flakes on the pineapple, obviously after it's been cut up, and obviously when it's ripe enough. Heart. Your pal. Okay, I shouldn't have to say that, but just in case. I don't want her to ruin a good pineapple. Flakes. Anyways, there it is. Beautiful card. And a beautiful cornucopia basket. And there it is. A beautiful Valentine's cornucopia basket full of all my friends' favorite snacks and thoughtful items and a personalized pop-up card. How wonderful is that? And how easy was it to take some items around the house, like ribbons, flowers, pineapple in this case, to make such a beautiful, beautiful Valentine's Day cornucopia. I hope you'll give it a try, and I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day as well.